All right, y'all, let's jump into this. So this very first video is a video entitled Tina Knowles Exposes Jay-Z of Controlling Beyonce with Drugs. So like I said, we were going to take a little slow walk through this. Forgive me if I'm not way too much in the comments. I wish I had somebody here who could put comments up for me. Well, one day we'll have that, but right now we don't. Until we do, just understand that I'm not in the comments, just so I can stay focused on what we're talking about, because I think sometimes I get off track. So what we're going to be looking at first, hold on, let me get right. The first thing we're going to be looking at is this video. It's on a channel called Culture Covered, on YouTube. And the title is, let me make it bigger. Tina Knowles exposes Jay-Z of controlling Beyonce with drugs. And you see Tina Knowles' face, right? So I just want to take a second and I want to ask you guys, given that headline, given this image, what's the first thing that comes to mind if you were to scroll across this story? Shut up, Cancer Queen. She said Beyonce probably annoying. Well, they are about 15, 20 years apart. I know every man I've dated who was 20 years older than me, I got on his nerves too. Because I was young. Y'all know Jay-Z got hip problems and, he got all kind of shit going on. He 50 something. Beyonce just turned 40. No, she's 41. So they're completely different. But yeah, Jason, her mom looks hideous. Absolutely. It's not an attractive picture to start. So what I learned, what I learned in broadcast school was how to present somebody to tell a certain story and how to capture certain sound bites and certain images to tell the story that I wanted to tell. And so, but without breaking it down too much, I just wanted to put this in your face so that you could see what I see when we first enter this story. Okay? So let's listen.
It's perpetuated over and over, no matter what.
Yeah.
I'm start it over, okay?
It's just perpetuated over and over, no matter what.
Yeah.
It's just what everybody thinks.
More disturbing.
Okay, so did you guys hear what she just said? If you heard what she just said, please hit a 1. If you did not hear or understand what she said, please give me a 2. And if it wasn't loud enough, let me know so I could work on that. Shanika said she heard. Tina says she tired of these two. Miss Naders, it was a 2. Okay. I'm going to play it again and I'm going to give you some closed captions as well. Okay. Because I think that these sound bites are very important. Remember, they're called sound bites, just a piece of what somebody said. So the title of this is Tina Knowles Exposes Jay-Z of Controlling Beyonce with Drugs. Okay. And it makes me so angry, y'all. My heart is really like, whew, I'm pissed because I know the end of this story and I'm mad. So I'm going to play it again with the captions. Let me know what you heard.
It's just perpetuated over and over, no matter what.
Yeah.
It's just what everybody thinks.
More.
Did you hear it? She said it's just perpetuated over and over, no matter what. It's just what everybody thinks. It's just perpetuated over and over, no matter what. It's just what everybody thinks. Can you give me an idea if the title of this story is Tina Knowles Exposes Jay-Z of Controlling Beyonce with Drugs? What do you think it is? Hey, Miss T. Taylor, baby. What do you think it is that's perpetuated over and over? And that's just what everybody thinks it is. What do you think she's talking about? It's just perpetuated over and over, and that's just what everybody thinks. She sounds pissed, right? But what is she pissed about? Yes, this channel is for entertainment purposes only. That's why it's listed as a comedy channel. Come on, somebody. Thank you. You always got my back. I appreciate you. And everything here is allegedly, too. It is the story Thank you. So you would think, Tiffany, that it being that Jay-Z controlling Beyonce with drugs is perpetuated over and over again. Can somebody who may have that line of thinking give me a 1? And if you think we're reaching to think that's what she's talking about, can you give me a 2? Based on what you see here. Based on the title of the story, does it make sense when she says it's just perpetuated over and over again? It's just what everybody thinks. You think she's talking about Jay-Z controlling Beyonce with drugs, right? That makes sense, right? I need a little bit more feedback. I appreciate you, Shanika. Thanks, Miss Naders. Thanks, Africandy Mind 86. Okay. So she might be talking about the truth of her daughter coming out. Yes, it does. We discuss controversial shit over here. Yeah, okay. So I just want to make sure. Okay, so when she says it's just perpetuated over and over again, and that's what everybody thinks, we have reason to believe she's talking about Jay-Z controlling Beyonce with drugs. That maybe if we were to even use some sly language, we could say Jay-Z controlling Beyonce with drugs is just perpetuated over and over again. And Jay-Z controlling Beyonce with drugs is just what everybody thinks. Am I are we on the same page? That's the story that's being told by the title and the very first line? Exactly. Okay. I just want to make sure.
It's just perpetuated over and over, no matter what.
Yeah.
It's just what everybody thinks.
More disturbing rumors are starting to emerge about Beyonce and Jay-Z's marriage. And according to multiple insiders, Beyonce's mom, Tina, is worried Jay-Z is controlling her daughter with drugs.
I can remember getting on a plane and an older white woman saying, "Oh, your son is a gangster rapper, right? How did you let him marry your daughter?"
There's been a lot of speculation lately that
Okay, let me stop that. I want to go back to. Anybody catch what Tina Knowles just said? Did anybody catch that? I'll play it again because I think it's very, very, very important to this story and the image that is on the screen while she's saying what she said. I'm gonna play that part
Tina is
again.
worried Jay-Z is controlling her daughter with drugs.
So the narrator, who sounds like a white woman, says Tina is concerned that Jay-Z is controlling her daughter with drugs. Okay. And Tina follows up, the soundbite follows up to support what the narrator says by
I
saying,
can remember getting on a plane and an older white woman saying, "Oh, your son is a gangster rapper, right? How did you let him marry your daughter?"
There's been a lot.
What did Tina just say, y'all? Somebody help me out. Tina said to support the narrator says that Tina is concerned about Jay-Z drugging her daughter. And so to support what the narrator said, they say, "Hey, Miss Taylor, that's for you." Oh, y'all talking to each other. Yeah, crazy. To support the narrator, just take this slow walk with me, y'all, because this is really important. To support the narrator saying Tina Knowles is concerned about Jay-Z drugging her daughter, here's the soundbite and pay close attention
I remember getting on a plane.
Mom, Tina is worried Jay-Z is controlling her daughter with drugs.
Okay, so Beyonce's mom, Tina, is concerned that Jay-Z is controlling her daughter, Beyonce, with drugs. Okay, that's what the doggone narrator said. So here's the soundbite that's supposed to prove to you that Tina is concerned.
I can remember getting on a plane and an older white woman saying, "Oh, your son is a gangster rapper, right? How did you let him marry your daughter?"
There's been a lot of.
So Tina says her soundbite is, "I can remember getting on a plane and an older white woman said to me, 'Oh, your daughter is Beyonce, your son is Jay-Z. How did you let your daughter marry a gangster rapper?'" That's supposed to be Tina supporting or proving that the narrator's telling the truth, that Tina is concerned that Jay-Z is drugging Beyonce. Can you tell me where in what Tina said Is there support that she's concerned that Jay-Z is drugging Beyonce? Was there anywhere in what she just said that supported that? I'm going to play it again because we're going to take this slow walk together, y'all.
Jay-Z's marriage. And according to multiple insiders, Beyonce's mom, Tina, is worried Jay-Z is controlling her daughter with drugs.
I can remember getting on a plane and an older white woman saying, "Oh, your son is a gangster rapper, right? How did you let him marry your daughter?"
There's been a lot of speculation lately that Jay.
So did she say, I'm concerned that Jay-Z is drugging my daughter? Did she say that? Now, I'm going to warn you, these are the only 2 sound bites in this entire story from Tina Knowles. I'm going to warn you. These are the only sound bites in this entire story from Tina Knowles. So I ain't holding you. Did anything in what she just said? So I remember getting on a plane and this white lady said to me, "Oh, your daughter's Beyonce? Isn't her husband a gangster rapper?" Can you help me understand where in that Tina said, I'm concerned that Jay-Z is drugging my daughter? Did Tina Knowles so far support? Has Tina Knowles so far in the first 22 seconds of this story exposed Jay-Z of controlling Beyonce with drugs? Yes, I play it. I play it from the beginning as well.
It's just perpetuated over and over, no matter what.
Yeah.
It's just what everybody thinks.
More disturbing rumors are starting to emerge about Beyonce and Jay-Z's marriage. And according to multiple insiders, Beyonce's mom, Tina, is worried Jay-Z is controlling her daughter with drugs.
I can remember getting on a plane and an older white woman saying, "Oh, your son is a gangster rapper, right? How did you let him marry your daughter?"
There's been a lot of speculation lately that.
Can you give it to me? Can you give me anywhere? See, now one thing I learned in broadcast school is what's called the inverted pyramid. If you have a story, the very first few lines are supposed to be the hitter. That's where, I talked to the president and his quote was, "Bombs flew over Baghdad and the neighbors said," okay? So it's supposed to be these first 30 seconds of this story are supposed to be the shit as to what is being talked about. It's supposed to be relevant. It's supposed to be important. It's supposed to be supportive. Okay? So I wouldn't say bombs flew over Baghdad and then have somebody give me a quote about eating McDonald's burger because it doesn't go together. Right? I wouldn't do that. That's not good news. That's not good journalism. That's not good reporting. Am I right? I wouldn't say President Bush got a shoe thrown at him and then give you a soundbite of somebody singing happy birthday to their dog. Those two things don't go together, right? I want you to remember that. And I want you to hold on to that. And I'm going to try to keep my emotions to myself because this really pisses me off. So I want to mention this so far that this story's titled Tina Knowles Exposes Jay-Z of Controlling Beyonce with Drugs. And I asked Beyonce, like, what do you say about this? And she said, what did my mother say about this? And I said, well, your mother said this.
It's just perpetuated over and over, no matter what.
Yeah.
It's just what everybody thinks.
And Beyonce said, but what was my mama talking about? And I said, she was talking about Jay-Z controlling you with drugs. She was like, go to the source, bitch. You know better. I said, okay, babe, I got you. I'm going to go to the source. And we're going to go to the source. Just not yet. Just not yet. Let's keep playing this.
Rumors are starting to emerge about Beyonce and Jay-Z's marriage. And according to multiple insiders, Beyonce's mom, Tina, is worried Jay-Z is controlling her daughter with drugs.
Because, hold on. Because Jay-Z said, what did my mom say? Beyonce asked me, what did my mother say? Examine what my mother said, and that will give you all the information that you need. They're saying that my mom is concerned that my husband is drugging me. They're saying that my mom has exposed my husband for controlling me with drugs. What did my mom say? So we know the first thing she said was that there's well, let's go back to it. Let's let her say it so I don't misspeak, mama.
It's just perpetuated over.
It's just perpetuated over and over again. That's what everybody's thinking. That's what Miss Tina said, right? That's what she said, right?
And over, no matter what.
Y'all don't put that out. He's watching me.
More disturbing rumors are
He's in my house tonight because nobody's in here. Y'all don't worry about that little nigga. Listen, he might pick up some notes from us on how to think and break things down. Don't pay him any attention, sweetie. Y'all stay here with me. Don't let Donut distract you. Think about the name, okay?
starting to emerge about Beyonce and Jay-Z's marriage. And according to multiple insiders, Beyonce's mom, Tina, is worried Jay-Z is controlling her.
So according to insiders, Beyonce's mom, Tina, is concerned. And she's worried that Jay-Z is controlling Beyonce with drugs. And this is her saying
with
that.
drugs.
I can remember getting on a plane and an older white woman saying,
I see you,
"Oh,
Kate.
your son is a gangster rapper, right? How did you let him marry your daughter?"
There's been a lot of speculation.
I mean, I heard her say a white woman said, la ba da ba dee. That's what I heard her say. Was there anywhere in there that she expressed worry or concern with the issue at hand? Give me a yes or a no in the chat. Give me a yes or a no. In what you heard her say, did she express concern about Jay-Z drugging Beyonce in any way? Could it be ascertained that that was concern coming from her? Could it be deduced that she was expressing concern? Could it be possible that that was her crying out for help? No, she did not. She said something, and it was put in this story. But she never once said right then and there, I'm concerned about this thing right here, about this person right here doing this thing right here. She didn't say it. Let's keep watching.
Lately, that Jay-Z is holding Beyonce hostage in their marriage and giving her illegal substances to keep her under control. Many fans have also noticed that Beyonce completely lost her spark ever since Jay got exposed for cheating, and they're saying it's truly terrifying how hypnotized and dazed Beyonce looks these days.
Upcoming artist. Due to illness, Glenn could not be here tonight. He's fighting his illness with the same determination.
I told y'all that's her only soundbite in the whole story, didn't I?
But it's not just fans.
If you see another soundbite from Tina Knowles in this story, you tell me. We gonna watch
mom,
it.
Tina is also concerned about rumors that Jay got her daughter hooked on drugs. So what exactly did Tina say about Jay's controlling ways?
Uneducated gangster rapper, that's all she could come up with.
Though Tina
What did Tina just say about Jay-Z's controlling ways and drugging her daughter? What did Tina just say?
Jay's controlling ways.
Uneducated gangster rapper, that's all she could come up with.
What did Tina just say about Jay-Z controlling her daughter with drugs? Let me give it to you again. I said that was the last sound, but I apologize. It wasn't.
Jay's controlling ways.
Uneducated gangster rapper, that's all she could come up with.
I'm trying to get the whole Jay-Z controlling her daughter with drugs part. I'm trying to catch it because I didn't hear her say that.
About Jay's controlling ways.
Uneducated gangster rapper, that's all she could come up with.
Though Tina Knowles previously,
you know, Chris, hold it to yourself for a moment. Chris, I normally would say spill the beans, but for this conversation, I'm gonna ask you to hold all your intelligence to yourself. Because if you know where I'm going and you know where I'm at, just pray for me and pray us through this. Because this one right here is big. If you already know, please keep it to yourself. I normally ask us to talk about it. You know, I'll post the comments that spoil it because I think it's a fun conversation. But for this one, if you know, pray for your people and pray that our minds are willing to be open to our perception of ourselves. Okay? And how a few sound bites and a few key words can make us believe absolutely anything about ourselves. Okay, remember what Jay-Z said. He said, why it gotta be the Illuminati if a nigga shine? So let me go back to what Mama said. Because everybody told me. I talked to Jay, I talked to Beyonce, I talked to Tina. Everybody said go back to the source. And we ain't even got there yet. What my niggas say, we ain't even had breakfast yet.
It's controlling ways.
Uneducated gangster rapper, that's all she could come up with.
Tina Knowles said that about her own son-in-law, and this was also proof that he's drugging and controlling her. Thank you, Shanika. Thank you. I know I'm not the only person that got this because wisdom is infinite. It's just somebody got a mic and says it. The part of the reason why I got back to YouTube was because I was tired of yelling at the TV. I was tired of yelling at the TV. So I was like, let me go ahead and just yell with some people who know what's tea. So in what you just heard, she said, uneducated gangster rapper, that's all she could get. Is she saying that Jay-Z is controlling Beyonce with drugs and any of that? Just give me a yes or a no in the chat. We are praying. Thank you to whoever you pray to. I pray to myself. I pray to myself this time next year. Honestly, I'll be like 2024. All right. Did she say when she said uneducated gangster rapper, that's all she could come up with? Did she say, oh God, the ethics are gone? Did you hear me? And there's a certain way Black people allow ourselves to be talked to in the media, and we don't even know we being talked to. Have you ever met somebody who's from Mississippi, Georgia, Alabama, South Carolina, a Black person in a real small town, and they're treated in a racist way and they don't even know it because they're so used to that environment, and you come from somewhere else and you're like, why you let them talk to you like that? Why you let them do you like that? And they don't even see it. Well, this is us right before us. There was one particular thing about this that made everybody believe, and we gonna get to it. So let me continue to let this play.
Though Tina Knowles previously defended Jay when the Beehive came after him, it looks like she's now changed her mind about her son-in-law. Tina is allegedly extremely worried about rumors that Jay-Z is controlling Beyonce by supplying her with drugs. In case you missed it, several industry insiders recently came forward with claims that Jay-Z is controlling and drugging Beyonce, and her fans even got the Free Beyonce hashtag trending on Twitter. Ever since Jay-Z publicly admitted he cheated on Beyonce several years ago, fans have been saying that Beyonce is acting very strange, and it almost seems like she's not in full control of her actions.
Now, she said, in case you missed it, and I haven't seen a soundbite from any of them. In case you missed it, several insiders have come out saying, did she give you anything to support that? Did she give you anything? A quote, an article, a soundbite, a TikTok, a phone call, a diary submission, a tweet, an Instagram post, a quote in the newspaper? Did she give you any support of the statement that several insiders have come out and said, yada, yada, blah, blah, blah? You know, this is all semantics. Okay? Somebody talk to me.
Rumors about Jay being unfaithful have been swirling around since the early 2000s, and Jay was linked to everyone from his record label artists Rihanna and Rita Ora to his former friend Dame Dash's ex-wife Rachel Roy. The rumors reached a boiling point back in May 2014 when shocking footage leaked showing Beyonce's sister Solange attacking Jay in an elevator at the Met Gala, while Beyonce just stood there looking completely hypnotized. One insider told E! News that Solange lost it because she saw Jay getting close with Rachel Roy at the Met Gala.
I mean, where are them quotes and screenshots and text for the several insiders? Where's the proof? Where's the proof of these several insiders? Because we see now that she just took some stuff Tina Knowles said and said she said something that we still ain't seen her say it. When there's $1 billion, what she say? Dang, I can say it in my head. I've never sang it out loud. Of course, it's gonna go down when there's $1 billion on the elevator. Isn't that it right there, Miss T. Taylor, baby? Of course, sometimes shit go down when there's $1 billion on the elevator. She wasn't hypnotized. I mean, who knows what that situation is? There's so much speculation about what that were. I mean, those were fucking, that's a brother and sister-in-law. If you ain't never fought with your brother and sister, even your brother and sister-in-law, they travel together. They got kids who are cousins. They could have been fighting about anything. They could have been fighting about absolutely anything. And when they got off that elevator, they did just like me and my brother and them used to do. We straightened our shit up. Soon as we got off that elevator, man, I grew up in a church house. We used to fight like cats and dogs behind the scene. Soon as we got off that elevator, soon as we got out that car, and it was time to roll up to the next church, we straightened that shit out. Me and my mama and my daddy and my brother. We used to fight like hoodlums. As soon as we got in public, I don't give a fuck what you do behind the clean. When you get out in them goddamn streets, your family and you act like it. Man, please. Please. That's a fucking brother and sister. They've been knowing each other since she was. Do you realize that Jay-Z started dating Beyonce when I was 17? I'm 43, 42. He started dating her when I was 17 and Solange was maybe 14. They've known each other all their lives. There's no telling what they were fighting about. What you do know is Jay-Z never laid his hand on Solange and Beyonce didn't get in it. That could have been about anything. She could have found out that nigga reneged the game of spades 3 years ago. I take that shit just that serious. They could have been fighting about absolutely anything, and the fact that they've never told us means it's none of our business. Beyonce put out a whole album to tell you her husband cheated on you, and she ain't cheated on her, and she ain't told you yet what they was fighting about in that elevator. Because it's none of our goddamn business. I've heard so many different stories. Yeah, I'm an 80s baby, to be honest with you. I was born in 1980 on the dot. I made it in third quarter. Anyway, let me let this play so we can get
later
to
confronted
get to
Jay
the
about
next one.
flirting with Rachel. She started saying some disrespectful things to her and Beyonce, and that's when all hell broke loose in the elevator. And that's also why Beyonce just stood back and let Solange hit Jay. Beyonce, Jay-Z, and Solange never explained exactly what happened in that elevator, and they only released a PR statement saying this was an unfortunate accident and claiming that the family has worked through it. But then,
That ain't
just
none of
a
y'all's
few months
business.
after the elevator incident, Beyonce again sparked speculation she was using drugs after she was filmed acting bizarre at a Brooklyn Nets game. The Daily Mail reported at the time.
They said, I never thought that was bizarre. Can I be honest with you? I never thought that was bizarre because I be high as fuck too. And I be having my ear pods in, not wanting to be there. I'm with my man. I'm with my man. She said you bring me along to make the deal sweeter or whatever she said in Upgrade. You bring me along to she's eye candy. Don't nobody want to see Jay-Z sitting there by himself. And as soon as you do, they gonna have all kind of rumors anyway. You ain't never heard Beyonce say nothing about basketball. She there with her man because she there with her man. He probably went to a ballet with her. They probably owe each other. But she ain't there because she don't want to be there. If she really wanted to be there, she'd be there. Shit, how many times y'all sat in church and acted like you was there? You ain't there. I've been high as fuck. Listen. She was high. Ain't you? I like you for a reason too. You were 81, baby. I think the 80s and 90s was it, y'all. I think that was the end of it, y'all. I think they wrapped up humanity with us. Forgive me if you less than that, but I've already looked at my analytics. Everybody in here is from the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. Yeah, I would be doing the same motherfucking thing. I used to be in the choir stand, lit as fuck off some Four Loko and some street weed. About to sing. Do 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 do. High as fuck. To me, high as fuck. Do you understand? She might have had some AirPods in her ears, and they got shit you could put in your ears and can't nobody see. And she never came out and said anything about it because what's the need to? She's like, Donna, any attention is attention. You know? I don't see the problem. Shit, it was a Saturday afternoon. She wasn't working.
Well, Jay-Z, who was sitting next to her, awkwardly squinted back and forth at the
And ain't nobody got no
By
pictures.
this point, Beyonce had already started working on her album Lemonade.
And let me just go back to the point of the conversation. Have we heard Tina Knowles say anything yet that supports that she's exposing Jay-Z? Elevated to the vapist. 1970. I love it. Sometimes I wish I was born in 1970. I think if I was born in 1970, the activist in me would be in place. I think I was born too late to be the kind of activist I am. Because the activist I am is an Assata Shakur kind of activist. But just like Assata Shakur, I know how to get the hell out the country too. You understand what I'm saying? We all smoking, everybody ill, and she got money. She could do a whole lot of shit we can't afford to do. So when you talk about getting high, she can get high. She was chilling. Picture it. Saturday afternoon. It's raining outside and you at a basketball game and you're not at work. And all you hear is squeak, squeak. And who knows what music was playing over the thing, because you know they be playing like 5 seconds of a real hot song at a basketball game and then they stop. And she might have still been playing that song in her head. I'm not saying this because I'm a Beyonce fan. I'm saying this because I know how to think. Okay? I know how to think. I also know what it takes to be a professional and be able to do your job for 20-something years to the capacity that some people do it. And I also know that you got to be on some type of painkiller 24/7 to do that kind of job when you using your body at 40-something years old in the ways that she does. Oh, somebody asked what my Cash App is. I appreciate you. Thank you. Let me make sure you can see it. You know, money is my love language. So, Sir Smiles Lightfoot, I really do appreciate it. Yeah, so far, you know, we're 3 minutes into this story, if you can see the timestamp. And she might be a functional addict, Kita G. She just might. I mean, all of us are a functional addict to something. You know, and I'm not excusing drug abuse. I'm not by any means. I'm just saying the question is, was Jaguar right? And did Tina Knowles actually expose Jay-Z? Okay, and I think once we get into this, and I'm loving this conversation, once you know it, Visions. So you know your vibe attracts your tribe. Your vibe attracts your soul family. But I think once we dig into this conversation a little bit more and do some comparison, we'll be able to see things a little bit more clearly. I'm just taking a slow walk with y'all tonight because you deserve it.
Details all the emotional stages she went
Listen, we have worked really feverishly on this Jaguar Wright stuff over the last few weeks. We enjoy a nice slow walk tonight.
After learning Jay-Z cheated on her.
Not having to call 911 in the background and shit.
Celebrating their power couple status. And Jay later claimed he and Beyonce decided to fight for their love because they wanted to break generational.
Why wasn't that the headline?
And, you know, for us, we chose to fight for our love, for our family, to give our kids a different outcome. You see, you know, to break that cycle. For Black men and women, you know, to see a different outcome.
If the shoe had been on the other foot, you know, if the transgressions had been on her side, do you think you would be able to be as forgiving of her as she was of you?
I hope. Again, because I love her the same way. No matter what side, I love her the same way. I pray that I will, because her strength and her, you know, man, is the strongest woman I know. Like her and my mother, they battling for one.
However, Beyonce fans were not buying this, and many of them.
Now, I'm not going to break down Jay-Z's behavior there because I know controlling men can be very manipulative and deceptive. I was raised by one, so I'm very keen on that behavior. He doesn't come off to me as controlling. I'm not quite sure because I don't know. But when you come into these kind of Hollywood relationships, you can see a whole lot of things. Gratitude to you too. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you. I'm so glad. I hope you've enjoyed everything. He might be lying, you know. He might be lying about all that. I don't think men can take infidelity like women have to. And that just is what it is, you know. But let me continue to let this play.
Cheated on Jay, he would have never stayed with her. And even if he would have, the narrative would have been completely different, and people would mock him for staying instead of praising him for being strong. This is also when a lot of people started speculating that Beyonce can't leave Jay-Z because she's been with him ever since she was a teenager, and she doesn't know how to be on her own. See, Beyonce previously said that she was 18 when she met Jay. However, Jay has a long track record of getting involved with much younger women, and several sources have claimed that Beyonce was actually just 16 when she met 28-year-old Jay, and that's when he allegedly started plotting to get with her. Besides that, Jay had a close relationship with R. Kelly, and he actually continued working with him even after he found out Kelly manipulated and illegally married 15-year-old.
Sometimes it takes a minute to come through.
Everyone knew what R. Kelly had done to Aaliyah, but Jay didn't care, and he went on to release a joint album with him.
But I've been tight about this shit for years. So to be honest, like, if you remember The Best of Both Worlds, you don't see my name on it. You know what I mean? And
Your name
Oh,
is
this
now
is
either out.
Cody.
Hell
Thank
no, I
you.
never wanted no parts of that.
Thank
So
you
when
for the
homie
cash
was
app.
doing that shit, I
I'm
was
waiting
like,
for
bro,
yours. I know it's coming through. Thank
you
you.
know our homie violated, and he violated my girl. He violated a friend of yours.
Dame also claimed that Jay was pursuing Aaliyah and trying very hard to get with her. But then when Aaliyah tragically died in a plane accident in 2000,
Now we all the way
Jay
over to
went public
Aaliyah.
with Beyonce
Ooh,
just months
I
later.
like
What's
that
also
sound.
disturbing is that Jay himself admitted in his song
Thank you very
444 that he
much,
didn't
Tamari.
treat
I
Beyonce
appreciate
as his
that.
equal.
Was
And on
that
her
you?
21st birthday, he warned her not to embarrass him instead of claiming her as his girlfriend. A lot of
Thank you.
Beyonce's
That
fans
was
have said
you.
that
Thank
this
you very
definitely
much. I
amounts to
appreciate you, Sir
grooming because
Smiles.
Jay-Z was way more experienced than
I have to remember
Beyonce
you.
when he
That's
met
your
her.
name,
And he
so I don't say
basically
it.
did the same thing to her that he tried with Foxy Brown and Aaliyah. But Beyonce is a grown woman now, and if she wanted
Got it.
to leave
Thank
Jay, she
you.
could easily do it. And plus, the
She
Beehive would
could.
probably support her in this decision. So how come Beyonce decided to stay by Jay-Z's side after he publicly humiliated her so many
Because
times?
she wanted
Well,
to.
according to several people with inside knowledge,
That's
the
her
reason
nigga.
Beyonce can't leave Jay-Z is because he's secretly controlling her with drugs.
How many of y'all with niggas you ain't got no business with? Years. Years. Niggas ain't even got drugs. Hardly got good dick and ain't got no money. How many of y'all addicted to a nigga that ain't no good and you need to let him go? Or a woman or whoever. People stay with people they want to be with. You got to understand these people came up in show business together. You can't trust nobody. They've been together for 20 something years. They had a whole relationship y'all didn't even know about. They together because they want to be together. Listen, I'm not saying it's true or it's not true. The question is Tina Knowles exposing Jay-Z in this story so far? Did Tina Knowles expose Jay-Z of controlling Beyonce? Let's just take what was used as a soundbite. Did those soundbites support the headline? Give me a 1 in the chat if you say yes. I believe that what Tina Knowles said was supporting. Give me a 2 in the chat if you say no. I don't think that that's not what was T. If you know, go ahead and say yes or no. Now that you're getting ready to see this like this, just don't spoil it. Don't spill all the tea. Oh, good, Regina. It's my pleasure. I've been enjoying talking with you in the comments as well. Thank you. Yeah, I do believe that the First Amendment is to be supported. I also am responsible for what comes out of me as a vessel, so I don't just slang words everywhere all willy nilly. They're together. They want to be. They told you they made a decision to be a family, and that's just the decision that they've made. No, Tina Knowles has not. She's not said that Jay-Z was controlling Beyonce. And I'm wondering why the person who made this article hasn't gotten sued
Well,
yet.
according to several people with inside knowledge, the reason Beyonce can't leave Jay-Z is because he's secretly controlling her with drugs. One of these people is Jay's former background
They
singer,
hate black
Jaguar Wright, who
relationships, man.
publicly accused Jay of drugging Beyonce and said he was a monster with no conscience.
Jay-Z. Why has Jay-Z been coming up with you lately?
Because he's a monster. I waited a long time to see if he would grow a conscience. And the more drugs he pumps down his wife's throat to keep her in a character.
No, girl.
I mean, I'm looking for a picture, a photo, a video, because they got a video of Jaguar Wright snorting cocaine on the table. Is all I'm saying. I mean, we got a video of Jaguar Wright selling musty pussy at the Jamaican spot. We got a video of Jaguar Wright smearing her son's ashes all over strangers. I mean, these are all crimes. These are all crimes. I'm just trying to figure out, like, where's the proof? And we ain't heard nothing about that investigation.
Not my beautiful Beyonce.
Jaguar also said Beyonce's fans need to start their own version of the Free Britney movement.
You know what? I asked myself, who did Jaguar Wright pay? Because the lady said several insiders, and I just knew that was the moment she was going to put that shit in the story, and she didn't. I said, well, then why didn't you put it where it was supposed to be? Why you wait all the way until 6 minutes in when somebody would have clicked off already? Oh, okay. Because now it's just dragging stuff on. Okay. Excuse me. Ooh, that lemonade. Man. Speaking of lemonade.
Because Beyonce is literally a prisoner in her own life.
I tell you this right now. Y'all talking about free Britney. Y'all need to be doing a campaign that say free Beyonce.
Beyonce is free.
She is a prisoner in a gilded cage.
Jaguar's claims were later backed up by a man.
Now, this is a woman who says that she's been editing her life on the interwebs for the last 3 years so her husband doesn't look like a monster. She said her husband has been beating her and the dog, but not Sam and not her mama. She said that so many things she said. But she's going to, she's got us thinking this man is a horrible person. He done pulled a gun out on her. She had to get out on the side of the highway and hitchhike in Shreveport. Remember, y'all? Remember all these things were happening? This man just robbed her and beat her, but she's focused on getting Beyonce free. But she's been living this life.
Uncle Ron, and claims to have worked as Beyonce's personal bodyguard. Uncle Ron recently went viral on TikTok when he claimed that Beyonce is a full-blown addict and that Jay has been supplying her with drugs for years to keep her under his control.
But I say it, man. Yeah, Beyonce's on drugs. She's been on them for a long time, and you keep her that way.
Where is his evidence? And if I was married to the weed man, I'd be smoking too. Wouldn't you?
Y'all wish it what you wish it to stay on top.
And they on top. So why you mad? That's the thing that bothers me. People get mad at those of us who are not Christians and choose to worship either ourselves or another God or the devil. But we winning. Excuse me. We winning. Maybe you should be mad at your God. If you worshiping your God and you ain't winning, then maybe you shouldn't be mad at me. Maybe you should be mad at the God you choose to worship.
Thing about me,
we good over here.
And then, just days after Uncle Ron made these claims on TikTok, Beyonce and Jay-Z attended a pre-Grammys party at the Hollywood Palladium. And once again, Beyonce looked completely out of it while Jay was seen guiding her to a car and trying to stop the paparazzi from taking pictures. So now that all these rumors have started...
You ever been out with your man and you been drunk? And you been, the kids with their grandma or whatever, and you with your niggas so you can let loose. Now, I guarantee you ain't never want to run a car into somewhere and then put it on fire. And I guarantee you, if Beyonce was at the bar licking on another bitch, she didn't put it on TikTok. See, because that's the problem that I have. When I asked, was Jaguar right about Jay-Z and Beyonce? Like, you putting your mouth on somebody. Oh, okay. I will. I'm happy to. You putting your mouth on somebody. Thank you. You putting your mouth on another person, and you got all this shit. And yes, I would hope, Snaders, have we ever protected each other from our photos getting taken by the paparazzi? Have we ever said, boo pie wall? Just a water pie. And taking somebody's phone? Have you ever looked across the space and said, they taking a picture of you, and we went over there and got them? Have I ever looked out for you, Miss Snaders, and said, hey, they taking a picture of you? Would I let the paparazzi take a picture of you? Hell no. Would you let the paparazzi? Not for free. Lil, buy quiet, nigga. I said, Lil, buy quiet. I want my money. And that's all Jay-Z was saying. You can't just be taking free pictures of my wife. Absolutely not. We've been in that position before. When I first had my daughter, that baby went out with a veil covering her face. And people would try to take the veil up. Mind you, she was in China. But people would try to take the veil off. We used to have to fight people. No, you can't just take a picture of a person just because you want to. Does that mean he got her on drugs? 50 quiet. No, baby, that's 600. Liu, buy. Liu, buy quiet. Liu, buy. Buy is 100. Liu is 6. Warrior, Liu, buy quiet. I want my money, nigga. Shoot, I made a woman pay me 90 kwai once because she was touching my hair. And when I turned around, my apple cider vinegar fell out my bag and fell on the ground. And her face got all busted up because the apple cider vinegar did it for me. The apple cider vinegar jumped out my bag on its own when I turned around, and it flew over my shoulder and hit her in the face and hit the ground. That lady's face was fucked up. And I made her pay me for that bottle of vinegar. Water, Joshua Kwai. Joshua Kwai. Denali, Joshua Kwai. Where's my 90 Kwai? She gave me that money and I hurried home because there was a crowd forming. And in China, you don't let a crowd form around you. But no, people got a right to their privacy. So he's controlling her because he won't let the paparazzi take a picture of her. Because everybody want to see you when you slipping. People love to catch you when you slipping. Why would you want to take a picture of somebody who's been drinking, who's been kicking it, who might be high? Why would that be your interest? You know this person's livelihood rests on their image. Why, paparazzi, would you be so interested in taking a picture of that woman that you would make her husband have to step between you and her? You know she ain't at her best. Come on, somebody. Quit playing with me. And you know Virgos don't play like that. When it comes to the look and the image, Virgos take 7 hours to get dressed to go to the grocery store. Okay? You fart at Beyonce's show and she forget the whole song. She be so fucking focused. You can't play with Virgos like that. They are routine, one-track people. And this woman is out with her husband kicking it. Yeah, she might have been on a little something. I'm telling you, I'm trying to make a trip to Sedona. That's where they say them shrooms be at. We're going to have to get in the car and make a little trip to Sedona. Thank you, Keita. I'm glad I said something that made somebody happy when it came to them signs. I can't tell you how many people got mad about what I said about Tauruses. Please don't stereotype the Taurus. I said it was a stereotype. I mean, it ain't your name if you don't answer to it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Miss T. Taylor, baby, said you better get the motherfucking likes up. Rockabye, baby. That was Miss T. Taylor, baby. That's what she said. That sound like you, too. That's what you would have said, too. Tell me I'm lying. Now, Brittany is a different situation. Brittany does not want to be in the situation she's in. Brittany has come out and said it herself. So I asked Beyonce, what do you, like, you've never come out and said anything like this. And she said, if it was true, I'd say it. Why wouldn't I? She said, why wouldn't I in this day and age? If this was true and if I didn't like my life, why wouldn't I? Why would I keep it a secret? What reason do I have to hide it? He got shooters, I got shooters. His shooters are my shooters. That's what Beyonce told me. She was like, it doesn't even make any sense. And I'm still trying to figure out where Tina Knowles exposed Jay-Z.
Popping up about Jay-Z's controlling ways. How does Beyonce's
Thank
mom
you, Sir Smile. I appreciate it.
Is she worried that Jay is keeping
Thank
Beyonce
you.
on drugs? Well, it's interesting that back in 2021, Tina publicly defended Jay after fans expressed concern over Jay being controlling and constantly rubbing Beyonce's leg when they're in public. Tina took to her Instagram to defend her son-in-law and wrote, when you love someone and like them, you just want to touch them. For those of you who don't understand, try it sometimes. It works.
Since when do we have a problem with a man touching his wife? That's a problem? So damn, you damned if you do and you damned if you don't. If they out and they not touching, things seem frigid between the Carter, whatever her name is, the Knowles Carters. Things seem frigid. But then he rubbing on her leg, now he controlling. I mean, white people are so uncomfortable with black affection. It's maddening to me. with black people being in love with each other. It is maddening to me. As a formerly married woman in a black neighborhood, in a white neighborhood, I will tell you, they are uncomfortable. Even as a mother, they are uncomfortable with the amount of affection I give my daughter in public. White people want to see me chastise my daughter. They want to see me, don't do that, sit down. No, 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 no. We don't speak to each other that way, not in public at least. They get uncomfortable with the amount of affection I give my daughter and rubbing her hair and holding her hand and loving all over her. They don't want to see us love each other. Do you hear me? And we take what they say with so much value that it changes how we feel about ourselves. Let me get there. I'm not going to jump there yet.
Fans who said Beyonce has anxiety, and she called them comical for turning something good and healthy into something that it's not. If someone has anxiety, then it's great for their partner to touch them, to calm and reassure them. That's a beautiful thing, Tina wrote. It just happens to not be the case here. However, Tina is now allegedly becoming worried because the rumors of...
If you got to hang out with Beyonce, wouldn't you be touching all over her?
About Jay-Z drugging and controlling Beyonce are getting louder by the day. The Beehive even recently started the Free Beyonce hashtag on Twitter, and many of them are saying Tina needs to help her daughter escape the clutches of her controlling husband. My most anticipated divorce for real. This has to happen at some point.
I'm going to let you take a look at this real quick, because I want you to look at the picture and I want you to look at what is being said. And I don't care who's in this room because this is my house. Okay? The biggest enemy of every white woman on the planet is a black woman. They want to be you. They want to be like you. They want to have what you have. They want to know what you know. And for a white woman to sit here and talk about a black couple this way makes me want to punch her in the fucking face. And for the woman who is narrating this to sound so much like a white woman and to use Tina Knowles in this story in her face. Y'all, I'm trying not to jump to the end.
One fan tweeted, he was a grown-ass man and met her when she was 18. She literally spent most of her life with him, gave him children, and I don't buy she's happy after he cheated. Probably staying together because of the kids. Free Beyonce. Another fan shared a video clip from the Grammys showing Beyonce saying no after...
That bitch said that was the most anticipated divorce. She said, I don't give a fuck about Donald and Melania. She said this is the most anticipated divorce. What? I just feel like there's some lines we have to draw when it comes to our couples in our community and people that support our causes. Because these are people who've supported our causes and taken care of us and represented us. They are not disconnected. They've done things behind the scenes and undercover to push the black culture forward, to push black politics, to make sure that we get seats at tables and representation, and unapologetically, at the risk of their own lives and their own careers and their own livelihoods, and that of their children and their great-grandchildren. I just wouldn't talk like this about somebody of a culture like black people who've worked so hard to build families. I wouldn't open my mouth and say something like this about a culture that has gone through what this culture has gone through to have families. And especially in the culture of entertainment where black men don't choose black women and black women aren't allowed to choose black men. I just think she should keep her fucking mouth shut, and I want to see her in the street. Because her mom and daddy divorced don't mean everybody else got to be. You feel me? Excuse me. I think that there are times when people need to get divorces, but if you choose to stay together, more power to you. If that's what you want, then I'm here for it. Excuse me. But I think that with black people, we don't protect our culture enough when it comes to things like this. That something like this, that even that even a person who narrated this would feel comfortable speaking about our people like this. Our Michelle and Barack. I can't stand them politically. Excuse me. Barack and Michelle could eat my ass politically. I can't stand that one of them. But they're a black couple. So you can't talk about them. Just like my mom and daddy. They were married for 40 years. Their marriage wasn't shit, but that was my mom and daddy. And they was together to the day they died. You can't say shit about them. I can, but you can't. It's just like that. So I think that there's a fence that we need to put around our culture so that these kinds of things can't just be said. My most anticipated divorce for real. This is a white woman who wants to see Beyonce divorced. And then what is she? A baby mama? Then what is she? A welfare queen? Then what is she? Somebody who needs to be saved? Then what is she? There's a level of protection that we need to have when it comes to our culture and our celebrities who act right, the ones who act right.
Man and met her when she was 18. She literally spent most of her life with him, gave him children, and I don't buy she's happy after he cheated. Probably staying together because of the kids. Free Beyonce. Another fan shared a video clip from the Grammys showing Beyonce saying no after Jay offered her a drink and wrote, Jay-Z's gesture after Beyonce said no is an indicator he likes controlling her. And she...
What was the gesture? He offered her a drink. She said no. He offered her again. She laughed and he put the drink down. I think he drank it and set it down. I mean, most men are controlling their women by saying you can't drink. Please help me understand. Am I misunderstanding that? Don't most men tell women you can't drink, you can't wear that, you can't do that? Most men who are controlling aren't slipping alcohol to their woman. It's quite the opposite, if I understand correctly. I'm putting up your agreeds late because I like them right now. You feel me? I'm not saying he is and I'm not saying he isn't. I'm just saying we got to understand how we allow ourselves to be portrayed in the media and how we allow stories to be told about us and we allow keywords that trigger our psyche and our issues. You feel me? That's all I'm saying so far.
Learned to live in her moments. But how do you feel about all of this? Is Jay-Z really drugging and controlling Beyonce? And if these allegations are true, do you think that Beyonce's mom, Tina, knows about it? Let us know what you think in the comments and make sure you click on this.
Did you hear her ask the question to cover her ass? If this is really true, do you think her mom knows about it? Well, you said Tina Knowles exposed Jay-Z. So why would that be the last part? Why would you ask that question at the end? If it's happening, does she know about it? Hold on one second. Why would you ask that question at the end? If it's happening, do you think she knows about it? But you just told me, wait a minute.
Over and over, no matter what.
Yeah.
It's just what everybody thinks.
So then why'd you ask me if it's happening, does she know about it? If that's, I mean, it just seems like what they call a dialectic. A dialectic is when a conversation talks from on one extreme and another extreme just to confuse you, kind of, sort of, because there's never any kind of middle ground that makes sense. So I want to present to you now the person who brought us this rumor, in the best context that I can think of to present this person